Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Uh, my name is Alice Mambucci, and I am the lead facilitator at Shauri Solutions. This morning, I'm privileged to get a chance to work with you on this program, on this leadership journey that your organization has curated, specifically considering some of the challenges or opportunities within your organization. And you specifically as a leader who the organization has tagged as somebody who can help them move the needle, change the mindset, shape the future of leadership. And so I'm so grateful and privileged that I get a chance to walk with you on this journey for the next 4 days. And as customary, I think that it might be useful for us to just set ourselves in the context of the program so that we know where we're at, where we're going, and sort of have some ground rules or house agreements around how we will walk on this in this journey together. So it's a 4-day program, and on day one, we are going to look at leadership in the context of communication. So, the world no longer operates as it used to before COVID. And what that has introduced to the leadership system is complexity. And so many organizations are grappling with a lot more complexity coming into their system. And leadership, as you can imagine, is under incredible pressure, not only to fulfill against its mission, but also to empower and enable the workforce. We've heard between the great resignation and the quiet quitting, our leaders are under enormous pressure, not only to deliver business results by selling, whether it is products or widgets, but also to keep their employees engaged and motivated. And so the idea of communication and leadership comes at just the right time because the environment in which we are operating has completely shifted. And so we'll look at why it is important, why it matters, why your organization feels as though this is a time for you as a leader within the organization to come through this program. We'll talk about some organizations that do communication well and how then it affects their positioning and their brand. We'll talk about some leaders who communicate well, take a look at a couple of examples and see if we can pinpoint what it is about communication that can be described as effective, particularly through the lens of a leader. So that's day one. And then day two, we'll go into what we're calling advanced communication skills. So having understood the environment within which we are operating, having understood the importance of communication, then really honing in on what actually is communication. And while the title may suggest that it is basic, and I know that all of us are well read and well educated, I think that it would be interesting to take a pause and really think about what is it that you know about communication? And two, do you practice that which you know? And three, perhaps, what is it about what I already know that has changed that might be useful for me to begin to incorporate? And so that's day two, advanced communication skills. When does communication happen? What does good communication look like for you specifically as leaders who are working with teams? What does inspirational communication look like? What does factual communication look like? Elements of storytelling. How do you embrace storytelling as a concept to improve your communication? And so on day three, we will move then to what I call the self-awareness piece, where we'll look at the tenets of emotional intelligence, because as we think about sort of honing our leadership skills in the area of communication, it's very important to be self-aware. Sometimes what is said is not what is heard. And so there's a sense in which you as a leader need to be very aware of yourself, what biases you bring into the conversation, what your idiosyncrasies are, what your tendencies are, so that as you're communicating, depending on what your audience is, you're coming from a very self-aware position. And you're learning to manage your emotions, to regulate your emotions, and to really master your own self-talk so that the other person can have a chance to really hear what it is that you're saying. And so emotional intelligence continues to be a big piece in sort of the leadership that we in organizations, and how leadership is now embracing how to work with the employees within the organization. And then day 4 will sort of be a culmination of all we've learned, the importance of leadership in the organization context, the advanced communication skills, and what skills do we need to apply now, and the self-awareness piece. And so on day 4, we really will focus on what commitments, given what we've learned in the last 3 days, what commitments can you make to yourself as a leader? Who will hold you accountable? Commitments such as, what do I need to stop doing? What do I need to start doing? And what do I need to do more of? And really, day 4 is a self-reflection day where we will be challenging the assumptions that you bring into your own leadership in the area of communication. We will be challenging your assumptions that you have around communication. We'll be challenging your assumptions around the different forms of communication and how to leverage the tools, whether it is in AI, whether it is from the body of work of emotional intelligence, really trying to, again, set you up for success. And as we go along, I want to encourage you or invite you to really think about it. The company has sent you here, your high potentials. They believe that that the opportunity within the organization can fully be executed or resolved by you being much more aware of communication, by you getting this class. And so it's important for me to sort of put a plug around, as we're going through this content, I invite you to really reflect on what we talk about with you in the hot seat. And hot seat is a term that I use loosely, but the idea is, how do you bring yourself into the conversation to examine how it is that you show up? Because ultimately, after 4 days, we will have completed this course. With any luck, some of the materials that I share are going to be referenced to once in a while. And so we'll have completed the course, we'll have completed the leadership journey. But I want to invite you to think about this as an opportunity to begin a transformation journey, to begin a journey that allows you to be the kind of leader who can be quite effective using the tool and skill of communication. I'm super excited to be here again, and I think I'll invite others to weigh in on what it is that they hope that this session is going to give to them.